That's Prime Minister Modi, who is in office. This is day one of Modi 3.0. That is Prime Minister Modi there at his office this morning. Do remember that the swearing-in ceremony that started at 7:15 went on till about 9:50 at night, followed by a dinner at JP Nadda's residence. So it was a long night for the Prime Minister, who's been sworn in as the third time Prime Minister. He is the only second Prime Minister to be, sworn in as the third Prime Minister after Jawaharlal Nehru. There you can see Prime Minister Modi hitting the ground running. Early in the morning, we can see him here this morning there in his office. Do remember the portfolio allocation is yet to be announced. So we're waiting for that big announcement as far as the portfolio allocation is concerned. There is continuity when we talk about, the usual suspects as far as the cabinet is concerned, from Nirmala Sitharaman to names that crop up, JP Nadda as well as Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah as well as others. And of course, the Prime Minister there. Do remember that the first cabinet meeting will be held this evening at 5 o'clock in the evening. So it will be the first meet and greet. Prime Minister Modi there at his office first thing today. This is after that very long night as far as the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Modi, along with 71 other ministers. So 72 ministers in all who were sworn in at the Rashtrapati Bhavan on Sunday evening. So Prime Minister Modi there at his office, as you can see. This is after the swearing-in ceremony that took place of 72 ministers, including the Prime Minister himself. This meant 30 cabinet ministers, 36 ministers of state and 5 ministers of state with independent charge, who were all sworn in on Sunday evening at the Rashtrapati Bhavan here in the national capital. In terms of continuity, we saw Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, Nitin Gadkari, JP Nadda, Nirmala Sitharaman, S. Jaishankar, Piyush Goyal, as well as Dharmendra Pradhan and Ashwini Vaishnav, who made it to the cot yet again. We're talking about Kiran Rijiju, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, as well as Arjun Ram Meghwal and Anupriya Patel included in that list as well, along with Hardeep Puri and Mansukh Mandavia and Jitendra Singh. We also saw new faces coming about, and to get you more on that, we have my colleague Vasudha joining us. So Vasudha, take us through the new faces, take us through, very interesting as to, one is very excited to know what are the kind of roles that they'll be taking as far as the debutants are concerned, and also will the ones who, the old timers, the old hands, the ones who've, we've seen continuously even in the third term here in 2024 from 2014, will they get to keep the roles that they have been playing out all along, or will there be a rejig of sorts in this new cabinet? Vasudha, over to you.
Well, Divya, what we understand is that the cabinet portfolios list could come anytime today, and of course, there's a cabinet meeting that is scheduled to happen today evening, and 30 ministers are to take place. But to the most important news of today is Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking, charge of his work for the third time. He, of course, was sworn in as the Prime Minister for the third time, making history at the Rashtrapati Bhavan yesterday. And today, if you look at the visuals, that's P.K. Mishra walking alongside him, very powerful bureaucrat and very important face in Narendra Modi's style of governance, somebody who has been with him throughout his Gujarat days, somebody who's known for his disaster management. That's him accompanying the Prime Minister, and that's the Prime Minister in the South Block in the PMO office, signing the first file, which according to sources is dedicated to farmers. And what we understand is that it's a Kisan Nidhi. It's a file that basically implements that, and the PM, of course, has also said that we want to keep working even more for the farmers and the agriculture sector in the times to come. After being sworn in as the Prime Minister for the third time, this is his first file that he's signing, authorizing the release of 17th installment of the PM Kisan Nidhi, which basically is intended to benefit almost 9.3 crore farmers, and it could be distributing around 20,000 crore across the country. This is basically a 6,000 rupees annual support income for farmers across the country, something that has played an important role in improving and amplifying the BJP's reputation amongst farmers, specifically with all of these farmer protests going on in the northern part of India. After signing the file, of course, the Prime Minister has spoken a little bit again, saying that his government is completely committed to Kisan Kalyan, which is basically benefit of farmers. Remember, Gyan is something that the Prime Minister has often spoken about. Gyan, of course, talks about Garib, Yuva, Kisan and Nari Shakti. These are the 4 core sectors that he has been reaching out to, because he believes that these are 4 different sections of the society that need a specific, kind of care and of course, development from the developmental schemes from the government side. The Prime Minister, of course, has signed that first, file after taking oath as the Chief Minister, as the Prime Minister, and also taking charge of his PMO. And he has said that we want to keep working even more for the farmers in the agriculture sector. So that's the big news of today. The Prime Minister taking charge of his office at the South Block in the PMO with PK Mishra alongside, and we are waiting for the cabinet portfolios to come right now, because that will show us, like you rightly said, if there is actually a sense of more continuity in the work that the ministers will be doing. Every minister in the last cabinet did have multiple ministries. Many of them did have multiple ministries. Of course, with 72 people now, there's a lot of power to share. There's a lot of ministries that would be allocated, reallocated, but with several organizational heads, several high-profile chief ministers, ex-chief ministers like ML Khattar, or for that matter Shivraj Singh Chauhan, or even C.R. Patil, the celebrated BJP president of Gujarat, who actually was responsible for the record-breaking victory of BJP in Gujarat with 153 seats. What are the kind of portfolios they would be getting? And of course, the existing ones like Ashwini Vaishnav, Bhupendra Yadav, Dharmendra Pradhan, what would they be getting? Because they also held charge of multiple ministries. And most importantly, Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Nitin Gadkari and Nirmala Sitharaman, who in some ways were steering the governance agenda of the Modi government in both the 2014 and 2019, if they would continue with the same responsibilities. Remember, Amit Shah took charge as Home Minister in 2019. It'll be interesting to see if he gets the same charge. He's been on his He's been working completely with the terror attack in Raisi. So clearly there are some indications that there is a sense of continuity that could prevail. But this is Modi government. There are many surprises. Yesterday, of course, we did see some surprises with young faces there. But of course, all the young faces will also have to be accommodated, including from Muralidhar Mohal to a lot of young people who have Shukanto Majumdar, who has come from Bengal, and some of them with experience. 43 of them, Divya, like I understand, of the 72 have had some sort of experience in administrative work as part of central government, as part of the union government. They've been ministers in the past, and at least 30 of them have been in state legislatures. So this is a ministry, this is a cabinet that emphasizes a lot on experience, that emphasizes a lot on domain expertise. So I think that is what is going to show in that portfolios list that's going to come out. But those visuals are very important, because this is the Prime Minister showing the way, leading the way. He has taken charge today within hours of his oath taking as a Prime Minister for the 3rd term. He has created history. NDA, of course, BJP with 240 numbers, doesn't have majority yet, but of course with TDP and JDU, with 12 MPs of the JDU and 16 MPs of the TDP, the Prime Minister has taken charge today as the Prime Minister, and the first file that he has signed is of Farmers' Welfare Kisan Nidhi.
Right, Vasudha, of course, the Prime Minister there signing the first file. We're looking at visuals on our screen of the Prime Minister pertaining to the Prime Minister Kisan Nidhi. Now, just, what is the kind of message that this is putting out? Because the first thing that the Prime Minister does after taking charge of becoming the Prime Minister, taking charge of office, there he is, focused on farmers' welfare. And he's gone on to say that more needs to be done, and that is what they'll be focusing on. So take us through the kind of message this puts out. And also, when we talk about the BJP's performance in Haryana, which obviously was impacted perhaps by the farmer protests and the farmers' issues that they've been facing.
Yes, absolutely, Divya, you're right. It also, it's a big message that the Prime Minister is sending out. Farmers are basically seen as caste agnostic. They are seen as region agnostic. A farmer from northern part of India will, of course, relate to a farmer from southern part of India. This is a very emotive sentiment in India also when you talk about Annadata. So clearly, and then as somebody who has covered the government, if there's only one step or one move that the government has gone back on its own decision, that was the farm laws. And that really showed that the Prime Minister himself feels for this issue. And it was the Prime Minister himself who came and said that, I'm taking these laws back because I've not been able to communicate the advantage of it to the community properly. So this is one area where the government is extremely sensitive about. And I remember covering the farmers' protests where multiple ministers, 3 ministers, including, of course, Narendra Singh Tomar and Piyush Goyal were assigned responsibilities of talking to farmers, and there were these multiple dialogue sessions that happened, which we've not really seen in other kinds of protests. So farmers, are not just a catchment area for the government. It is they're also very important, for the government. And if you look at even the State Assembly manifesto, MSP procurement seems to be, increasing MSP procurement. The prices has been an important part of their agenda. This is despite the Congress promising a legal, MSP in its manifesto, and Mr. Kharge and Rahul Gandhi talking continuously about how the Congress government, if it comes to power, will actually bring in a legal mandate for MSP. So clearly, this is the Prime Minister trying to go beyond the limitations of caste, because farmers are there everywhere and farmers are important everywhere, and it is, like I said, Annadatta are an important emotive subject in the country. And by signing this file, it also, he also wants to send out a message to the rural part of the country. BJP is seen as an urban party. This time we've seen the Congress upswing in rural parts of the country. This is the Prime Minister sending out an important message ahead of the monsoons to the farmers, that his government, Modi 3.0, is there to take care of them, and they are right there, in his mind, in his top priority list, and their interests will be taken care of.
Right, Vasudha, from seeing 13 ministers from South India, so that big South push, the focus being on South India too. First thing in the morning we're seeing as the Prime Minister takes charge, we've visuals on your screen from South Block with the Prime Minister there taking charge, taking office, and the first thing he's doing is this outreach to the farmers. So, Vasudha, this is the kind of message that the Prime Minister is giving out when we talk about inclusivity as far as his cabinet is also concerned. Take us through, some of the names which as far as the OBCs are concerned, when we talk about the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribe. So overall, quite an outreach by Narendra Modi 3.0.
Absolutely, Divya. And, if you look at the kind of caste classification that has happened with respect to the cabinet, it is very clear that UP, of course, UP and Maharashtra are two key states. And if you look at UP, BJP divides UP in 6 areas. And if you look at the people who have made it, from Kamlesh Paswan, who comes from the Pasi community, a Dalit community that the BJP fears has been leaving the BJP fold because of these rumors and narratives that the BJP could be changing the constitution and there could be some impact on the reservation policies. So Kamlesh Paswan from Gorakhpur, from Purvanchal, has made it. Pankaj Chaudhary has made it from Purvanchal. Purvanchal is one area where the BJP seems to have made a lot of setbacks. SP Baghel, who is, of course, and who has worked as an MOS in the government, he is the Agra MP, somebody who won despite many of his neighborhood constituencies giving the seat to the opposition. He, of course, has also made it. And, several of them, of course, Jain Chaudhary has got an MOS. He heads RLD, which is seen as a party of farmers and, of course, the Jat community. Prime Minister himself is from Varanasi, which is in Purvanchal. Rajnath Singh, the minister who took oath, after the Prime Minister, of course, will be given some very key portfolio. He's the existing defense minister. He represents the city of Lucknow. So I think that kind of allocation has happened in terms of thinking, and of course Maharashtra too. Right. But clearly the assembly elections are top on BJP's mind.
We are completely out of time.